It's so sunny outside. Good afternoon. Hi, I just wanted to come on here in between, just to explain to you a little bit what happened. The footage is a little bit of a mess in this video, especially the first part, first try of the dress. I'm really sorry for it, can't change it anymore. Bear with me through the first 5 minutes and then it'll be better. Thank you. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make a dress, but it's a dress in kind of 1916 style. I came across this picture. This is from seamstress.com. I'll link the article that it came from down below. And I just fell in love with this one. I love the pleating details on the side. And what's also really nice is that over here is a back view. And usually when I make things from pictures, I don't get a back view. Kind of have a pattern overview here. I will also be using this pattern. This is Simplicity 8445 H5. It's a vintage reproduction pattern and I will mostly be using this because of the sleeves. So the fabric I'll be using is this one. I really love this fabric. It's rather dark, but it's going to be a winter dress. It's a very nice, soft flannel. I need this mannequin, so I'm gonna take this beauty off. So I made a new draping. It's not perfect yet. I do not like how the pleats are not horizontal when they meet the sideline, but it's actually going somewhere. I've draped the front, I've draped the back. I'm relatively happy with it. I think the rest of the things I need to do in like the toiles that I want to do. And now I have to drape this piece over here. Also, hi, good morning. I haven't filmed in a few days and that's because I've been kind of stuck in the toiling process. And I've come to realize that I absolutely detest this part of the process. I'm right now on my second twirl and I still have to make a few changes, so it's gonna take a while. I hope this afternoon I can start on the real fabric, but I'm not very confident in that. I might have to make another one, which would be the third twirl. This is the first twirl I made. There was actually not too much wrong with it. It was a bit short-waisted, oh pardon that, but the pleats looked really good. I was very surprised about that. This is the second twirl. It has a long sleeve and the way I would like the sleeve to be. The sleeve length and all, that's absolutely perfect. I don't have to do anything about that. However, with this one, I showed it to my mom and my mom was like, there's too much room here. So you can already see it kind of pinched it out. I probably need to do something like that and I'm not looking forward to it. The short sleeve, however, did look fine, which was kind of surprising to me. So progress is going, it's just not the exciting stuff that I would like to do. These are the buttons that I found with it. I have these smaller ones for on the cuff and then I have this one for down the front. I'm also really sorry for not filming all of that twirling process since I hate it so much. And also since I'll probably film a lot more of the actual making process. I'm gonna continue on twirling. Okay, I've decided I'm gonna step away from this project a little bit because there's just so many things going wrong. I have it over here. And the front is finally like okay. I've got a bit of extra here, but it's supposed to be taken in with the dart right here, but I don't want to put that dart in there. It's too short-waisted. Still, I already lengthened the waist. It's still too short-waisted, but I also want it a little lower over here, the pleating section, so I'm gonna slash it here and lower this 2 centimeters as a whole. Still, sleeves, absolutely amazing. I have, however, found another problem, and that is this. It's the same problem as with the front. I'm just getting really annoyed now. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna step away from it. The biggest issue that I have with this one this one has it too. This one is just too big in general. This one is actually a little bit too small for me, and then, you know, you'd say pet it out. The biggest problem, however, is this line. I'm quite long-waisted, and as of now I have not found anything that has the same measurements from the neck to the back waist, and that is now killing me with this one. It's already quite complex, and then not having the right length and waist, it just throws everything off. So I'm gonna step away. I'm gonna do something else for next week's video, for this week's video. So I'll see you in the next clip, but for me it'll probably be maybe over a week. Good morning. This will be the third time I think that I'm gonna start on this project, and it's that dress that I've wanted up like about a month ago. Let's hope this time it'll be the charm. I'm going to restart the whole project. I'm going to redrape it. I'm gonna make new twirls, and I'm just gonna start from scratch. Another thing that will change is that I will use that dress form. Hopefully with some major alterations I will be able to actually get something this time. What I'm going to do is I'm going to drape it on here. First I'm gonna mark out all of the design things that I need. Probably the side I'll make higher than I actually want, because over here at like the mid front panel I'm going to slash it, and that is the point where I'm gonna lower everything. Here is markup or twirl number 3, 4, I'm not sure anymore, but it looks absolutely amazing. I'm really happy with the way it looks. I think these pleats over here now do look really nicely. The only thing I'm going to change is I'm gonna add a little bit more room in the waist, probably only about like 2 centimeters or something. So I'm gonna add 0.5 centimeter to the center front and 0.5 centimeter to the center back, and I might take the shoulder in up here. I'm really happy that I made the decision of like draping it on this one instead. And the waist lengthening also worked out really well. I thought this distance would become too big, but it actually looks really good. So now I'm gonna figure out the sleeve. I also have to still drape the collar. Just remind me of it, please. Make sure I don't forget it. I've done enough for today. I have made basically the bodice, and that looked really good. The trick that I did with the slashing worked really well, and I'm super happy with how that turned out. I am a lot happier with the overall shape and fit, and I'm just really excited to move forward. The thing that I'm struggling with now is the sleeve, so I'm gonna finish that tomorrow, and hopefully tomorrow I'll also be doing the collar, and then maybe someday we can actually start cutting in a real fabric, so that's really exciting. We're back! Last time I filmed it was Friday. Saturday I fell ill and I didn't do a single thing. Yesterday I did do some sewing, I just wasn't really feeling this project, so I did a few other things. I worked on a few other projects, and today I'm back on it. And I've done the sleeve. I ended up using a pattern as a reference, but I'm really happy with how this looks. I can actually brace my arm like properly whilst it's closed, so that's really good. What I am gonna do, however, is in the front the length is fine. However, on the side, my waist is here, like down here. So I'm gonna add an inch on the sides and on the back as well. I'm going to drape the collar. I'm gonna put this thing on the mannequin and drape the collar on that with some fabric. I have a collar. I think I have all my basic pieces, and I'm so sorry about the lighting. It's like I should probably lower those blinds, but I'm not gonna. I'm gonna alter most pieces now, but then we can start. It's actually really exciting that I finally have the pattern now, because I think I've started this project like 3 times, and now to finally have a pattern and I can start cutting into the actual fabric is really, really awesome. I'm really looking forward to that. The pattern is fully finished. I've got 2 pieces here, the rest is over there on my ironing board. But for now I was working on the calculations for the skirt radius, because you do need that when drafting the skirt. And I think I'm not gonna make a pattern for this, simply because it'll just take too much paper. But I came out on that for the full radius, and that is the small radius for the waist. Good morning, I'm back. It's been a few days, but I've been procrastinating a little bit because I have to start cutting and I'm a little bit scared. I don't know if you can see, but over there I have already cut out the back, the cuffs, 2 pieces for each side, and the collar, which is also 2 pieces. And I might have a montage going over cutting all of those out, because I do believe I filmed them. And now I need to cut out the front, the sleeve and the skirts. And I'm kind of second guessing my decision of not to make the pattern for the skirt. I think I'm gonna do it anyway, because of the pleats and seam allowances and all. Might actually be a little bit easier. Okay, it's a little bit later in the day. It's already dark outside. And I've cut everything out. I still have a little bit left over. However, I did not have enough to cut the skirt as one big piece, so I have 2 fronts and a back, which means I have side seams. And I was already debating on putting pockets in this, but I was unsure where. Perhaps in the pleats in like the front or something, but now that I have side seams, I'm putting the pockets in there. So here are my pockets, just a standard pocket that I have on hand. And I'm gonna sew that side into the seam and then close it all up. So I'm gonna have pockets. Can't have a dress without pockets, right? That's like not done. So put pockets in it whenever you can. After that's all done, I'm going to kind of pin it up on a mannequin, because this is a circle-ish skirt. It's a part circle skirt, which means a lot of parts are on the bias. So I'm gonna allow it to stretch. And that way I can level it out later. I'm done for today. The skirt is put together. I still need to press all the seams, but for now I'm kind of like, I'm done. I've done enough. The pockets are in, they're functional. There's one. I don't know if I can show it, but I've added little tapes to the tops of the pockets, just so I can put those tapes in the waistband or in the waist seam, so the weight of whatever's in the pocket is not on the side seams, which will drag it down. It's a little Victorian trick that has passed over to kind of the times these dresses were worn in. And I'm really happy with how it looks. Another little trick, you can kind of see it here. It's very visible with this. This is a bias edge that I've sewn to a straight edge, which is really, really nice, which means this is kind of stabilized now. So not expecting this to be warping too much, just, you know, wherever it's not stitched. I had some troubles with my machine. I originally bought this thread. I have it in a dark blue as well. This is a cotton quilting thread from Gutermann. But apparently my machine is a bit of a, well, and it didn't really want to accept the thread. So I've gone back to the polyester thread that I already had. This is a dark blue that I right now have. I'll probably still use a little bit of the cotton for top stitching, and I will most definitely use it for all of the handwork, because I do prefer to do handwork with. I'm gonna let the skirt hang for a few days until I have the bodice finished, and probably then some. Do some editing in between. So hopefully I'll have some footage of tomorrow where I'll be putting everything together that's on the ironing board right there. I'll see you guys tomorrow or in the next clip, probably. Good morning. Yesterday I ended up not doing that much because I got the mic, but I didn't get it to work. And it was very frustrating and I didn't feel like doing anything after that. I did baste the fold and center front line into the front panels on one of the front panels, so I still need to do it on the one over there. After that, it's 100% of prepping. On the back and the front, I'm gonna stitch 1.5 centimeters away from here to give me a guide on where to kind of cut it in and fold it in, because I'm gonna sew this together with lapped seams. It also means sewing the pleats in. I need to do that from the front, making sure they stay nice and pretty. I need to do some test runs with the machine in combination with the cotton thread, because I would like to do the top stitching with the cotton thread. So I'm gonna see if a needle change will do anything. So that's kind of it. Also, I need to tidy up my surface because it became a bit of a mess. Hi, welcome back. I have made some progress whilst I have not been really talking to you. I'm really sorry about that, but I just wanted to sew. I just wanted to make progress. And I was like, I'll just come back later and explain what I all did. So here I am, going to explain what I all did. I have made a few lists, but this is all the prep work that I needed to do, which I all did. Skirt still hanging, just hanging around. And here is the mess that right now is the bodice. I've sewn and pressed the cuffs. I have one here. Oh, here's the other one. So that's the outside, that's the inside, button placement and all that. So those are done. I've done the same with the collar, and the collar is also pinned in. Pressing this was a bit finicky, so I didn't film it because I was kind of unsure of how I was going to do it myself. It ended up actually easier than I thought. I did run a top stitch along this edge, which is the center front edge, very quickly. Pleats have been basted in. I'm gonna stitch the collar in and probably sew this down my hand. After that, it's sleeves. And as I said, I'm gonna sew it with lapped seams. And I'm gonna make sure that the bodice is lapped over the sleeve. So I need to snip in a little bit. That'll be fine. There's stitching there to guide me. I made some good progress yesterday. I put the collar on. This is the stitch on where it should be folded. I did make a small mistake. I think if I'm gonna use this pattern again, I'll probably make it a lapel. Just finish the neckline and sew it on like here, just like a normal collar would. I have sewn in the sleeves. They're sewn in with the lapped seam with the red top stitching. With the cuffs, I've made a tiny bit of progress as well, which I will show you now. So what I've done for the cuffs is I've made a little sample, and I've got a picture of this as well, which is probably on my Instagram. I'm gonna use a smaller blue threaded buttonhole for the smaller buttons on the cuffs and red for down the front. And this is one of the cuffs, and as you can see, I've already sewn in one. So I still need to do like 7 and then 8 or 10 down the front. I think I'm gonna leave that till the very end, just so I can figure out how many I would like, how many I think I need. So I'm now gonna baste the side seams from like probably here till a little bit into the sleeve, not too far because it's not necessary to go very much further since this is just a straight seam. I just want all of the pleats and this seam to line up nicely, so I'm going to baste that together and then sew the side seam and sleeve seam. Just a little case of do as I say, not as I do. I've sewn in the side seams. The pleats line up well enough. I had to redo this one because the upper pleat and the arm seam did not. However, I kind of forgot to fell down this seam, so now I have to do this now. So do this before sewing side seams. If you ever want to do it, do this one first before you sew up that one. Do as I say, not as I do. It's a bit later in the day. I don't know if I filmed anything today, actually. I know I did film like bits and pieces of what I did, but I don't know if I've greeted you yet, so hi, it's me again. I have made a little bit of progress. The sides are fully in. This is my list, so all I've done is sew in side seam, and I should probably do the cuffs, but the thing with the cuffs is that they also need buttonholes, and it's actually a lot easier to sew those on when the cuffs are not attached yet. So what I think I'm going to do, so I'm going to do some work on a skirt. So I'm going to see if I can actually get the skirt on now, tonight, and then tomorrow we're going to finish it with the cuffs. I have laid out my skirt on the ground just so I could put the pattern back on it and see if there was any warping that I needed to cut off. And you know, so far that's the only little bit, and I've got a little bit there as well. This is a surprisingly stable fabric, so let's hope it stays that way once I put the hem facing on. I'm really impressed with this fabric. Guys, just to remind you, I don't know if I've said this, but this is a bed sheet from IKEA. Hi. I don't even know what I did yesterday. I think I pressed the skirt, leveled the skirt, pressed the skirt, and I ran the gathering thread. But today I have not been filming because I've not been up here very much since I have been sewing buttonholes. And it was rather sunny today, so I decided to do it outside in the sun. I will show it a little bit more in depth with the buttonholes down the front because those will be done in red, thus will be better visible. But I do these in blue because button will be red. And I thought it'd be cute to do blue buttonholes and red buttons, and then red buttonholes with the blue buttons. For now, I'm not really looking forward to it, but I have to put the skirt on the bodice. Good morning. I've just showered, so my hair is still a bit damp. Yesterday, I was a bit anxious about sewing on the skirt, so I did that all off camera. It actually turned out pretty good. Here it is, skirt and all. It doesn't fit my dress form as well as it fits me because, as I explained before, I'm a bit long-waisted. The only thing I'm a bit bummed about is there is, I don't know if you can see it very well, quite a bit of gathering here in the front. There's not as much in the back. I would have liked to have more in the back than in the front, but yeah, that did not happen. I cannot really move it back because I have a side seam which has pockets, which I'm now seeing line up perfectly well here. And I don't want to move these pockets back. They're already a little bit back, but you know, it's fine for now. Today I need to finish it because this video needs to go up tomorrow. What I still need to do are the cuffs, but I'm a little bit unsure of the sleeve length, so I think I'm gonna pin it in real quick and then try it on over what I'm wearing today. And then I need to put in buttons, buttonholes, and close up the front, and then the final thing, hemming it. I'm gonna do the cuffs first because those need to be done with the polyester thread first. But it's actually looking like a dress. I'll put it on once I have one cuff pinned in, just so you can see. So I promised to show you how it looks like on. This is what it looks like. I'm really happy with the shape and the silhouette, and the color doesn't bother me as much. What I'm doing right now is kind of testing the cuff. I don't know if I can show you properly, but I think the sleeve is too long. It's like puffing up more than it should. So I'm gonna cut off from the sleeve, and then I need to redo the gathering stitch, which is a bit of a bummer, but you know, we're just gonna go for it. Just gonna do it because I do think it'll look prettier. Okay, I've pinned the other one on and I do like it a lot better, and it does not like limit my mobility. I, by the way, I've just put it over my jumper right now. So I've pinned this up like 3.5 centimeters higher. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna cut off 3.5 centimeters, do the gathering thread again, and gather it and sew it on. I think this looks a lot neater. I just filmed the process of sewing in the cuff, and now I realized I've done it all wrong. So I'm gonna redo it off camera. I should have sewn in only one layer, and I should have sewn it right side to wrong side. The process is basically the same, just fold the upper layer away and have it on the inside of the sleeve instead of on the outside. Evening has fallen here. You might hear some rain, it's raining right now. And I haven't done as much as I would like. It's kind of at the end of a project where I'm getting sick of it and I don't want to work on it anymore, but I push myself to finish it, which means I'll procrastinate more and more and more and more and more. Basically, I'm at the last like 15 to 10%. All I need to do is sew in the cuffs. I have both sewn in, but I need to re-sew in a little piece. And then it's all finishing work. I need to sew in or catch these ribbons or tapes. They are tapes, not ribbons, to secure the pockets in place properly. And then I need to do top stitching, front closing, hem, buttons, buttonholes, and then I'll be done. But I've been working on this project for on and off for like a month and a half now. And I want to do something else. But at the same time, I want to get this finished. Tomorrow the video is supposed to go up. Tomorrow, it's Wednesday today. Tomorrow it'll be Thursday. It's not going to go up. I have accepted that. I'm not going to push myself. I'm just over this project. And I know I'll love it once it's finished, but I'm just done. Hello. I'm coming back a day later now. Yesterday, I mean, kind of felt discouraged. Today I still feel discouraged, but I'm determined to get this finished. This is the dress now. I've done a top stitch around the collar. This was ready there. And the cuff, and here the cuff is lapped over. It's not the best stitching in the world, but that's also because this was very, very finicky to do. I've decided to just write everything out so I can basically tick off as many things as possible, because that's what's gonna feed my motivation the most. Right now I was working on where to put the top stitching around the waist and down the pleats, which meant I had to figure out where it would close. And after this, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna sew down the seam, making sure center fronts line up, and that way is how I will close the dress, basically. After that, it's only hemming. So we're getting really, really close to finishing. It's just how motivated will I be to finish it. Oh yeah, and buttons and buttonholes. Well, if I can get this finished, like up to the handworking stage tonight, I might just put on a movie. And sorry, I'm like, I'm gonna show you this anyway. It is the 30th or 31st of March, I don't even know. And it's snowing. Oh my god. I don't even know. It's like staying on the roofs now as well. And in the grass, and I'm like, I'm just giddy about it. I just want to go out and troll in the snow. I find this really funny. I have put my dress form with dress on the table so I can level up the hem, because apparently it needed leveling anyway. Hi, I'm a little tired today, but I'm gonna work regardless. I've cut out all of the pieces that I need for the hem. There are 4 curved pieces and then 1 straight one for the center front piece. So I'm gonna sew it all with the right sides together, pink the edges, press them open, and then sew the whole band to the bottom of this. Since there was already quite a bit of red top stitching on this piece, I think I'm just gonna top stitch the hem as well. I think it would be really cute actually to have the hem visible in such a way. Will be a bit more of a statement. I'm gonna call it for today now. I ended up not putting in the hem. It's completely pinned and pressed and ready to be put in. I just want to sleep. I'm tired. And I think I'm gonna do it tomorrow morning. And then also do the buttons and buttonholes whilst I watch something. I'll figure out. Yeah. Good night for now. The hem has been partially pinned. I now have to fold this under, pin it down, and then I can sew it. It's finished! It's finally finished. Like, that took so much longer than I actually thought it would. I sewn in all of the buttonholes and the buttons. I've done, I don't know if you can see it. Maybe you can if I come up close. I've done red buttonholes with the blue buttons, and they're also stitched on by with the red thread, and then for the cuffs I've done it the other way around. I do really like how the buttons look. I can already tell it's really, really nice and warm, and it's literally storming outside right now, so I think I'm gonna have a little bit of wear out of it. I think I'm not gonna take it off for the rest of the day anymore. I love the length of it. I'm gonna see if I can find somewhere around the house where I can do a full body shot. So all in all, it's a success. I really enjoyed this project as well, and the figuring out and how it all works. I think throughout this video I've said like I've done 3 attempts. I've only done 2 on camera because the first attempt I did before I even started my channel. And that one failed even worse than my second attempt. So I'm really happy that I actually got it to work right now and that it is kind of the way I want it. So this was it for this video. I'm really sorry it came up late. I didn't expect this to be so difficult, and all of the little detailed things that I did, they're all done by hand. I hope you liked it. I hope you like to see me struggle, besides like also see me win here and there. I think it's important to show the struggles because that is life. Life is full of struggles, and it is all about how you work around, work with, and overcome these struggles that makes you grow. Thank you for watching. Thank you for spending these probably 30 minutes or so with me. And I really hope you stick around, because next projects will be a series and they will be truly historical. I really hope to see you around next time. And, you know, on to the next stash busting project.